I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And I thought since it's almost Thanksgiving, I would talk about what I'm thankful for. And I have a lot to be thankful for all the time, not just this holiday season, but sometimes when you get down and out and when things aren't going so great, you kind of forget to count your blessings. Um, Life can't be good all the time. And sometimes it's just plain rotten. That's when you need to take stock of what's good and to appreciate the things that you have that are good. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And I'll be right back.
Listen to my podcast from my head to your ears. Please listen, hear what I have to say from my head to your ears. Oh,
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And today, since it's Thanksgiving time, I'm going to talk about what I'm thankful for. And I could talk all day of what I'm thankful for, really. I have lots of things to be thankful for. Sure, life's not the best, but uh, I really, really am thankful to God for what I have. And that's the truth. As you all know, I went through some rough years. Lost my mom and my dad and two sisters and some friends, and my health's not been great, and my other sister's health's not been great. My brother-in-laws haven't been great in their health, and it's been a rough few years. And this year, this year, I feel, I feel like I've not been present this year. My health's taken a turn for the worse, and I've not felt good. And it seems like I've just been kind of riding out the waves of the year. I've not had any energy and uh, all the things that come with having an iron deficiency. That's my cat, Kira. Definitely thankful for my Kira. She's a little feisty. Um, but I'm not feeling sorry for myself, but just something I got to go through. Don't know what's causing it. I got to take some tests and all that. But quite frankly, I thank God for insurance because even though my insurance is not the best, it's helping pay for a lot of this tests and things I'm having to go through. But I'm not going to sit around and feel sorry for myself. That's for sure. I got things to do and people to see and places to go. So that's just the way it is. Um, when you think about what you're thankful for, I mean, you got to ask yourself, do you have the bare basics of life? Food on the table, a roof over your head, uh, people that love you, your pets, whatever. And I am thankful for the roof over my head, even though it's a mess. It is a roof over my head. It's a work in progress. I'm so thankful for my sisters and my family in general, cousins, nephews, nieces, everything. Uh, and I'm thankful for my friends who have been amazing during the hard times. They've stood by me and helped me when I needed it and uplifted me when I needed it. Last year, um, last year was kind of unreal to me after losing my mom and my sister. And the holidays came, and I had a lot of friends who reached out to me and got me out of the house. And I'm forever grateful for that. And like I said, I'm forever grateful to my friends for that kind of stuff. It meant a lot to me, and I I really appreciate that. But honestly, feeling sorry for yourself to me is just so negative. And I think I've said this before, but it's just such a waste of time. And there's no room for it. I mean, just it just like it's there's no future in it, and it's just no room for it. Don't do it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Just when you start feeling sorry for yourself, start counting your blessings. Actually, like I'm doing right now. Um, I could go on and on about my blessings. I have a job that I've been doing for over 35 years that I'm comfortable at, and I'm well. I've made a lot of friends there. I'm kind of well known around here. I don't think I would have this podcast if it weren't for my job, um, because people know me from that place, and I'm often amazed at how many people remember me when they come in. Not bragging, and just it baffles me sometimes, but all my philosophy, especially at work, I'm not going to say where I work because that's a kind of a no-no. But if you know me, you know where it is. But my philosophy always, my customers come first, and I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I want to be a good what example of what Christopher, Illinois people are like. I want to be friendly, and I want people to think this is a nice place to come. Now, I'm not always at my best. I have slipped up, and I'm not perfect. I'm not going to say that. Far from it. Uh, but I really try to do that every day, and I love my customers, and so many of them have become good friends, and I we've shared. They share stuff with me, and I share stuff with them, stories, and I always tell people my stories. Littered stories are kind of famous. I always say, yeah, you get a free story with the purchase when you come in. I wear my heart on my sleeve. Uh, so if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to tell you I'm having a bad day. I'm not going to be mad at the world and make you wonder if I'm mad at you. I'm just going to tell you what I'm mad about, and it's just the way I am. I'm what you see is what you get, and I'm upfront about it. Um, like I've not been feeling good lately. I've had some major trouble with my legs, sciatica, most likely. Without going to a doctor, that's pretty much been an ongoing problem with me for years. I had a really bad flare up this month, and I was having trouble getting through a shift, but I did, and so I'm thankful that I had the stamina to do that because I've never really been unhealthy in my life. I've been overweight, but as far as being sickly, no. I This is all a new thing for me. I've gone through it with my family, but never with me. And I'm going to tell you right now, it sucks. But like I said, thank God for I've my friend Diana takes me to my doctor's appointments. I've got people that pray for me. Uh, I mean, I can't complain about that. It's sure it's awful, but thank God I've got people that help get me to my doctor's appointments and stuff. So trying to look on the positive side of things, you have to. Now I've got a lot of tests to go through still, uh, and I'm just honestly dealing with that as it comes along. But that's that. I'm going to take a break, and I'll come back and talk more about being thankful. and what I'm thankful for, and other stuff. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears.
From my head to your ears, let the music appear. No distance between us, just jazz in the air. I'll be right back, don't you fear. Every note I play brings me near.
I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. Today I'm talking about being thankful, and of course, this is the Thanksgiving season. Um, I was talking about what I was thankful for, and I was talking about my health and the bad things that's happened to me in the last few years. You can't cover the good things without going through the bad things. One of my most one of the biggest blessings that I have is that I was raised in a Christian household, and that I was taught about God and faith, because I have gotten through all this with my faith system. And I am not where I should be with God, I guess. My mom worried about that a lot. I've never been baptized and all that stuff. Some people don't believe in baptism. My mother did. She did dedicate me to the Lord when I was very young. And matter of fact, before I was even able to walk, she dedicated me to the Lord, which is, uh, I'm not sure how that went, to be honest with you. I wasn't old enough to remember, but I know she wrote that in an entry in my, baby book. A baby book. When you were born, at least in the 60s that I know of, I don't know. Actually, I think they did it all the way up to when my nephews were born. They gave you a book to where you could record your life, your child's life events and their height, and make little notes so they can look back on their life later. And I don't know where that book is right now. It's here in this house somewhere, but my mom kept it pretty well. And I know that's where I saw the note that she dedicated me to the Lord at church, I believe, with the minister at the time, Brother Sanders, I believe it was. And I was raised in a Pentecostal house. My grandma was Pentecostal. My grandma Qualls was Assembly of God, but she believed a lot like the Pentecostal religion. Uh, yes, my mom wore dresses and wore hair up and the Jiffy Pop haircut, but my mom was always very stylish, and um, she liked clothes. She was Baptist. My mom was raised Baptist, but she started going to the Pentecostal church when she married my dad, because my grandma Pearson was Pentecostal. And that's where I learned. That was where my early religious experiences came from. Now, I was not one to go to church. As a matter of fact, when I got older, I didn't like going anymore. And I was talking when I was like 8, 9, 10, and my mom would let me stay home with my dad. My dad did not really care for church at all, I'll be honest with you. And he uh, would stay home, plus Sunday's football day. So she believed that, since I was the son, that I could stay with my dad. But my sisters always went. And then a few years into that, my sister uh, we had a new minister, and my sister met the minister's son, and a romance came out of it, and they got married years later and had my nephew. But I started going to church whenever they were dating, and because I loved my ex-brother-in-law, still do actually. We're all good. Um, he's not only was he my ex-brother-in-law, he was a good friend of all of us, and we share a lot of good memories. And there were some times when we didn't speak, but we're all good now. And he is my nephew's father, and he's a good man. And they were good people. And I'm thankful that you can forgive. And that's another thing about, I was talking about grace and gratitude. Another thing about being graceful and about being thankful is forgive and move on. Don't hold grudges. I have a bad tendency to do that, but it is such a relief to let things go and not to let things bother you. My sister's second marriage was terrible, and uh, she went through a terrible time. And if you hurt my sister, you hurt me, you know, and that goes for all my sisters. And that's just the way it is. So my sister, my sister went through a hard time with her ex-husband, and I was all the way up to when she finally left him. She's married to a great man now that I fixed her up with, and both of them have problems and everything, sicknesses and the such. But I am so thankful that there's so much good that came out of this union, that I know they're both sick, but a lot of things were set right when they got together. My nephew, whose father was my ex-brother-in-law, could have gone another direction had my current brother-in-law, not taken him under his wing. And my nephew's now the police chief of a local town, and of Cesar, Illinois. And I'm proud of that because, like I said, uh, that could have gone either way. I mean, if my brother-in-law would have had anything to do with it, I have a hard time forgiving that. But I want to let it go, and he has a higher power to answer to, and it's not for me to judge. And I keep telling myself that, let it go. And I'm thankful, again, there we go back to the thankfulness. I'm thankful that I have a logical mind and an analytical mind where I can think these things out. And bitterness is just so self-harming. It's awful. Letting things go will set you free. And I heard something very intelligent, that you don't forgive for the person you're forgiving. You forgive for yourself, to have that peace of mind and to move on. Excuse me. Um, Bitterness is just, again, bitterness, feeling sorry for yourself is another negative thing that you need to let go of to live a better life. So that's what I want to do. And again, I'm going back to what I'm thankful for, because I'm thankful that I was raised uh, by a Christian mother. And I know a lot of people are down on Christians right now. I'm not. I'm not. I don't know what your problem is with the Christian religion. I know some people are left out of feel left out, or whatever, or feel like they're being alienated or made fun of or put down, whatever. To me, religion is a personal thing, and I am going to be 60 years old next year, not next month. Don't rush that. As a matter of fact, today I am 1 month away from being 59, so my 58th year is winding down. But I think I just thank God for knowing about God. I thank God. I thank my mother for instilling it in me. I had a praying mother. I had a praying grandmother, two praying grandmothers, praying sisters. Uh, all of us kids have that in us. That I can't remember the scripture where it basically says if you raise a child a certain way, they'll come back to it. They won't stray from it, and it's true, because religion wasn't even an issue with me before. I think losing my dad and my mom and my sisters, I think it made me realize it made mortality a very real thing. And I realize my time on earth is winding down, that me and my sisters were the old moms and the old grandmas and I'm an old uncle. I'm a great, great uncle, for gosh sakes. Uh, so yeah, you have to kind of put yourself in perspective. Not a lot of time left. I don't have 50 years to figure things out now. you know, it's time to seriously think about my salvation and think about who think about who's going to get what in my life when I go, and to think about, like, I worry about my cats, who's going to take care of my cats if something happens to me, because I love these animals like my children, and I don't know if anybody could love them like I do. And I would hate to leave this world and them not be loved like they've been used to being loved. It's just that plain and simple. But I'm going to take a break, and this is a really deep uh, episode of my podcast, but this has all been on my mind, and again, it's the Thanksgiving season, and I am very grateful for learning about God, and learning to be unselfish in my thoughts, and learning not to be self-absorbed in my thoughts. Anyway, I'm going to take a break, and I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Briggs. This is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears.
From my head to your ears, I'll be right back. Riding on a midnight groove, no need to pack. Thoughts spinning like vinyl, the needle drops low. Every beat a secret only you'll know.
I'm Leonard Briggs, and this is my podcast, From My Head to Your Ears, and I'm talking about Thanksgiving and the thankful things that I'm thankful for. The thankful things that I'm thankful for. Da, 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 da. God, you know what I'm thankful for mostly is my sense of humor. I have the craziest sense of humor ever, and I find humor in the damnedest of places. Oftentimes, when things are going awful, I just start laughing about it. I had a new doctor this year, and I swear I tell these stories so many times, I don't know if I've told them on my podcast. But, it's true. When I went to my new doctor this year, after my other doctor left, he came in and said, "Okay, you're Leonard Briggs, and you have this ailment and that ailment and this ailment and high blood pressure and blah 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 blah." And I just started laughing as a guilty. Well, he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Cry?" So my health sucks. I can't help that. I kind of did it to myself. I'm overweight. Anyway, blah blah blah. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I'm just not gonna. I hope when I die, I go out laughing. My mom was. I tell you, we laughed a lot while I was taking care of her. Um, I. She was so cute and funny when she had Alzheimer's. And I know it's a horrible affliction. It's a horrible disease, but she actually reverted to being a little girl, and she was so sweet and hilarious. And we laugh a lot. I still remember her giggling, and we'd kind of put our foreheads together, and she'd laugh. But my mom always, when I took care of her, uh, she would always look at me and say, "You're my son." Even when she couldn't talk, she mouthed that. She never forgot who I was, and again, I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful that God gave me the fortitude to be able to take care of my mom at home. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the time. Not everybody can do it. And I didn't know I could do it. I didn't know I couldn't do it. I just did it. I was like I said I was going to do it, and I'm a man of my word, and I did it. I wanted to do that for my father, and I wanted to do that for my mother, and I'm not trying to be like I'm better than you or whatever, because like I said, not everybody can do that. So I'm not looking down on anybody when you can't. Sometimes they're better off getting care somewhere else. But for me, I just wanted my mom here. I didn't want to have to go see her in a nursing home. I just, and I was able to do it, so I did it. And that's that. And I'm thankful that I did it, and I would do it all over again if I had to. True story. But I am thankful that I'm thankful for my grandmothers. I wished I could have known my grandma Pearson a little better. I wished I could have known my grandpas, but it just wasn't meant to be. They both were gone, long gone by the time I was born. But my grandma Pearson broke her hip when I was 7 or so, and I didn't get to know her really well, but I do have fond memories of her at church. Again, the church memories of her raising her hand in praise and really getting into her religion and shouting and just. My mom always told me my grandma Pearson would they would go to funerals and my grandma would say, let's get this going here, and she would start praising the Lord and everything. I don't know if she meant that to be funny or she just thought this, we need to get God in here. We need to get the presence of God going. And my mom and my dad's mom were really good friends, and she really loved my mom. And that's so awesome. And my grandma Qualls got along with my grandma Pearson. They really did have respect and love for each other, as far as I know. I've never heard anything otherwise. My grandma Qualls, uh, I think I've told the story. My grandpa died in her arms when she was just 50. I want to say 54. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But she never married again, and my my mom's youngest sister Barbara got killed in a car wreck when she was 19, and that was my grandma's youngest daughter. Obviously, she had her really late in life. And I when I look back at my grandma was she was fun, just like my mom. She was funny and told her jokes, and she liked to sing and praise the Lord and play her piano, and she was full of stories. My grandma Qualls. I love to listen to my grandma's stories, and my cousins will tell you the same thing. We just adored that little lady, and I am so thankful I had my grandma Qualls. Uh, she died when I was, let's see, she died in 2017, so she died right after the turn of the century. She lived till the 17th of January 2000. Uh, ah, I just, I love her. I love her stories. I do have a video of her if I could ever access them. It's a Super 8 video of her. I just put the camera on her, let her talk, and I would love to see that again. I don't know if my heart can take it though, because I really miss my grandma. Um, it's weird when your loved ones pass, and after a little bit of time, you like I'm starting to forget how their voices sound and this and that. So it's good to have recordings of that. But I'm just thankful that I had them. And Thanksgiving, my grandma would take turns. My grandma Qualls would take turns and go to different houses. My Aunt Faye's one time, my Aunt Marge's one time, my Aunt Lou's one time, my Uncle Jimmy's one time. She'd go to the different houses, my Uncle Ed's one time. And I always was so happy when it was our turn, especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, because I loved my grandma being here. When I thankful for those years. And I know I miss those years greatly, but that, and I've said this before, I think that great saying of, or more or less, I can't remember how the exact quote goes, how wonderful it is to have something wonderful that is so hard to let go of. I mean, there's a lot of people that go through life and don't have very many things that they cherish, but I have so many things that I cherish, so many good memories. And I've been blessed with a memory from, I don't know what you call it. I remember things all the way back to when I was 2 years old in vivid detail. Uh, it's just, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes. I can also remember embarrassing myself in front of people and those sleepless. I think I had that when I did my first podcast talking about sleep, about how you can't sleep and all these thoughts come to you about how you embarrassed yourself back in the third grade or how someone made you mad. That's the curse of having a good memory because you remember those things as well. But I'm thankful that I can still picture the good times and all the fun we had. So yeah, I think, in summary of this section, I am thankful for my family, my older people. And that's something too. Never take your older family for granted. Talk to your grandparents. If you have your grandma and grandpa, spend all the time you can with them. Ask them about things. Talk about their life and their childhood, and they are a great source of your family history and uh, for yourself, because at one point you're gonna miss them, and you're gonna be like, wow, I wish they were around to ask them questions, because I'm kind of going through that when I need my parents' advice or this or that, or I really miss them. So yeah, don't take people for granted because nobody's gonna be around forever. So anyway, I'm gonna take a break and I'll be right back. I'm Leonard Riggs. This is my podcast from my head to your ears. I'm Leonard Riggs, and this is my podcast from my head to your ears. And one thing I'm really thankful for is the fact that I am very aware of when I've talked too long and bent your ear long enough. And I appreciate you guys listening to my podcast. I'm very thankful for my listeners. I'm thankful for the technology that lets me do this. And I'm thankful that if you enjoy this, that you enjoy this. Uh, it's kind of a self-indulgent thing here to do a podcast and just expect people to like your stories. Uh, honestly, I think I would do this if nobody listened. So I am very appreciative of you, and I'm glad that you think enough of me to listen to what I've got to say, and hopefully someone told me that I helped them relax. I hope this podcast is helping you go to sleep, sir. You know who you are. He said the last one did. Um, the Halloween one, of course, that was kind of a weird episode of my podcast. Uh, I am going to go spend Thanksgiving with some friends this year. My niece is coming home. I'll probably see them. Um, I plan to decorate after the holiday for Christmas. I have my catio's almost done. So, um, yeah, I'm just really thankful for a lot of things. And most of all, I'm thankful that I know when to quit. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm Leonard Riggs. This has been my podcast from my head to your ears. I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you have wonderful memories and uh, a good time with your families and great food. That's one thing I love about Thanksgiving is the great food. Uh, so I will be back soon with another podcast, and until then, love to you all. Happy Thanksgiving. I am Leonard Riggs, and this has been my podcast from my head to your ears.